Okay, I apologize. The computer, or excuse me, the video cut me off. Well, it was at the end of the last video, but I'll explain what I was going to explain then at the end of this video. One thing I want to mention though before we begin is all we're doing with depreciation is allocating expenses. All it is a means to allocate expenses. It has nothing to do with an asset's real value. It's just there to allocate expenses. So let's look at our next one. We're looking at units of activity, and we're going to use the same means of determining our depreciable cost. But what we're going to do is divide that depreciable cost, $55,000, by our total units of activity, which the problem states is 100,000. That's the total. That will end up being 55 cents per unit. That is our depreciable cost per unit. So let's go ahead and start with 2011, and let's look at our depreciation for each year. First of all, in 2011, we have 20,000 units produced, 55 cents per unit. So we're going to allocate the cost. That will be $11,000. So in 2011, we would debit depreciation expense for $11,000, and we will credit accumulated depreciation for the $11,000. Now let's go ahead and look at 2012. 2012, we have 18,000 units produced. We're going to multiply that by the 55 cents, and that is going to give us 9,900. So again, depreciation expense for 2011 would have been closed out. So our depreciation expense for 2012 is 9,900, and we're going to add that 9,900 to our accumulated depreciation. Next, we need to determine our book value as of 12/31/2012. To do that, we're going to take our total value, which is 60,000, and subtract our accumulated depreciation. Our accumulated depreciation as of the end of 2012 is $11,000 plus $9,900. So that's going to be a total of $20,900. So our book value is $39,100, and that's at the end of 2012. Okay, let's go ahead. 2013, we have 22,000 units. We multiply that at 55 cents per unit. We get 12,100. We can go ahead, of course, 2012 would have been closed out. 2013, depreciation expense is 12,100. Our accumulated depreciation we're going to add for 2013 is 12,100. So if we wanted our total accumulated depreciation as of 2013, we're going to add these three numbers together. 11,000 plus 9,900 plus 12,100. That's going to give us a total for 2013 at the end of the year. Accumulated depreciation is going to be $33,000. Now, again, as I was saying before, you have to really, if it's asked in a final or in a test, you have to think about what they're asking for. These various numbers would have been what we would have given for depreciation expense. As I said, if they asked for a total 2013 accumulated depreciation, we would have given this number. Last year's book value, 2012, we would have had this number. So your answer will be very different depending on what the question is. So you have to be very careful in listening to or reading, I should say, the question. Okay, one more depreciation method.